Gotham, a crazy podcast about DC, with your hosts E-Rock and PD. When we speak up, get your geeks up, cause you know you about to get geeked up. So sit back, relax, and get comfy. Lose your mind like Solomon Grundy, and listen to a show that won't be forgotten, coming straight out of Gotham.
Welcome to the San Diego Comic-Con edition of Straight Outta Gotham, episode 123. It's just a regular episode. It's just happening that weekend. Don't get excited. We are a fandom pop culture podcast and proud members of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Make sure you check out all the other great shows on our network, and because they're by great people we call our friends. They do great work. Even that Ryan Lauer guy. You know, goddamn Ryan Lauer guy. Anyway, I am your co-host from the other side of the Hudson River. I'm a senior contributor to Batman Film. I'm Peter Arvera, and today we're recording on July 22nd, 2023. And as always, we have a great show for you today. Before we get to good stuff, I'd like to remind you, all the faithful listeners, that if you take the time to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, and we read your review on air, you win our Straight Outta Gotham monthly prize pack. So please enter, get those reviews in. And now let me introduce you to my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend, the one with the beef. A B1 Junior contributor, ladies and gentlemen, the champion of Long Island, Eric Holzman.
Oh yes, the beef. I have no idea what you're talking about, but
well,
okay.
One is a brisket I'm currently cooking in my backyard.
Well, that's true. That looks fantastic, by
beef.
the way. So that does look fantastic.
Then, the other guy just happens to be you and Nolan. Just no big deal. Just fanboy versus director.
Yes, the beef of all beefs.
It is.
It really is. It's become that in life.
Did it affect your review of Oppenheimer?
It did not.
What did you think?
Did not.
Would you like to give us your review of Oppenheimer? I have no idea when I'm going to see it.
I'm going to say that I liked the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is not perfect, though. It is not a masterpiece that people are saying. At least it wasn't to me. I did enjoy it. I think the acting is fantastic. The cast is ridiculous to begin with, and I think they all did a fantastic job. It's a little bit long. There are plenty of times in the film where you're kind of like, okay, you think it's ending and it doesn't. But based on a true story, you kind of got tricked at when you thought the movie was going to end. Well, that's kind
of cool. I think so.
It's pretty much. I mean, obviously, all movies are 3 acts, so the third act in this one to me is just a little bit too long. I think they could have cut it down a little bit. It's 3 hours, and it feels like 3 hours. It's not like you're sitting there and it's going fast. And I think that's more because of the content. The most exciting part of it is in the middle portion where it's pretty much the Manhattan Project and how that whole thing evolved and came. The first part is they try and tell you a little bit about his life.
Is there any action in this movie at all?
It's not. No, I mean
I'm just curious. Like, is there? It just seems like it'd be very slow. So
when they test the bomb, yeah, I mean, there's action in that part, of course.
Okay.
You're testing a nuclear weapon. So yes, when they do
is there a lot of guys just talking?
It's mostly talking. The score is very good. It does a good job of keeping you like into the movie. Like some scores are just kind of there in the background. This one is very attuned with what's going on in the film. So it's very good in that regard. I think that keeps you invested. But it's just a little too slow moving for a 3-hour film. If it was 2.5 hours, even cutting a half hour, I think it would have serviced it better. But I mean, it's my favorite Nolan movie since Inception. I can say that. It's my favorite of all. And I didn't love Dunkirk, as you know. Tenet, I think I liked. I still have no idea what I watched. So I need to go back and watch it again. Beef. But it's not beef. I'm just being honest. I, as you know, I do enjoy Rises, even though I have problems with it, but I do enjoy the movie.
He hates Rises.
I
He
do not
hates
hate
it,
Rises.
despises
I
it.
do not.
You should see Eric right now, the veins in his neck as he's saying things about Rises. Like he can't control how much he hates that movie. Like
Don't listen to him, guys.
he makes Kowalski look like an amateur.
False.
Like an
These are,
amateur.
Pete is telling false truths right now. They're false truths.
The keyword is truth.
False truths. The keywords are false. False. Which is better known as lies. Pete's telling you lies right now. I do not hate Rises. Never. I just think it's the worst of the three movies, and I don't think that's bad to say. It's just how I feel. So, but I do think Oppenheimer's a little overhyped, but it is a good movie. I did have a good. I don't want to say I had a good time. It just was a good watch.
Yeah.
For the acting alone, I thought the acting was so good. So, but you guys go and see it. Let me know what you think. When you guys watch it, Pete, you too. Let me know what you think.
I'll see it at some point. I'll be brutally honest. I'm in no rush to see Oppenheimer. That's probably something I will catch at like home at some point.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to try and see it in 70 millimeter IMAX. I thought about that, but the tickets have been sold out like everywhere.
Really?
And
I know Hoss is driving like 11 hours to see it.
Yeah, it's only playing at the Lincoln Center movie theater, which ironically enough is where we saw The Dark Knight with Bill when everyone came with the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah,
so,
and Bill left immediately after the movie. I believe he boarded his plane right after the.
I think he flew from the helipad. I think it was at the helipad. He got his helicopter and took the helicopter back.
Oh, so we're at a theater. And he's like, "All right, boys, come back." I'm like, "What?"
But yeah, so that's the same theater that they're showing.
Great.
Their only theater in this area that they're showing the 70 millimeter IMAX, and it's been sold. I checked for like a week, and it's been sold out like whole week. So I don't know. I thought about going to see it again because sometimes with these films on first watch, you don't ingest everything because there's so much going on. So I like to give it a second watch just to say, okay, I'm sure with what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one with this. But again, Murphy is fantastic. Downey is fantastic. Like they are.
Nolan is fantastic.
No, it's a very well made film. It is. It's very well made. It technically, I really don't have any issues with it. I thought direction's fine. It's just the content isn't. It's not all that engrossing.
I can imagine.
So yeah. So that's it. But definitely, guys, go see it. Let me know what you think.
Do you think there's going to be a sequel?
What? Why would there be a sequel?
Do you think Nolan would do a sequel?
There is no sequel.
I don't know. He's got to have done something after this.
No, that's why it's 3 hours. They pretty much cover his whole.
Oh, is his whole life? Okay.
All yes, right. The story he wanted to tell. They covered it in the movie. Like there's. I mean, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give anything away. But like I said, there's 3 acts. First act's about his life. Second act's about the Manhattan Project. And the third act is about what happened after the Manhattan Project to Oppenheimer. So
at some point, I could see this being like Oppenheimer Vampire Hunter, like they did with. Like Nolan's not a part of it; he's just a producer.
I like that movie, that Abraham Lincoln movie. I do.
I've never seen it. Is it actually entertaining?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not the best movie ever made, but it's when you're thinking about who Abraham Lincoln is to us as a guy that we revere as one of the greatest presidents we've ever had, and then you're watching him slay vampires in this movie. It's very
$5 bill.
Yeah, like it's very cool. It's a very cool concept. So I enjoyed it.
That's the man on the penny.
That's
why he's on the penny? Yeah, that's why he's on the penny.
Yeah, not because of president, because he slayed vampires in the 1800s during the Civil War.
Yeah, that's it. That's how Abraham Lincoln became president. He killed all the vampires.
So good, though. It was. It's such a good bad movie. Like, I love it.
Really?
So, yeah, it's one of my guilty pleasure films. I will throw it on every once in a while if I want to watch something silly.
Right. You like that more than
That's where I first saw that Ben Walker, the guy who plays Abraham Lincoln. That's the first time I saw him. I said he'd make a good Batman. I still think he'd make a good Batman. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's it. Holziman's review of Oppenheimer and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
And Vampire Hunter, yeah. It's one of those guilty pleasure. Like we all have those. The movies that we know suck, but you like. You have BVS. That's fine.
First of all, BVS, Eric, is a masterpiece. Okay, Schneider's Magnum Opus.
But yeah. So definitely, I have not seen Barbie. I'm tired of this damn Barbenheimer thing. It's driving me nuts. Barbie, whatever the hell the term is. I don't have any desire to see Barbie, but anyone out there who saw it, let us know what you thought.
I thought you bought the popcorn bucket.
No, I just shared that with everyone because I think it's cool. I saw it. When I went to the theater to see Oppenheimer. They had that on display, and they're also selling these like little inflatable flamingo like pool things that would be in a pool, but they're small for your drink. So they're selling those at AMC as well. I saw that.
They don't do any of this at Regal. I go to the Regal. The Regal's
I know.
There's none. They don't do any of this.
I know.
AMC's like, here's other stuff you could buy. Here's a bunch of junk.
Pretty much. I mean, it pretty much is junk.
Although, like, shout out to Rob Myers who got me the Batman cowl for me.
I
did get that.
I got it, and that's cool though. It's well made. It's not like flimsy or anything.
No, I don't even use it as a popcorn thing. It just sits there.
Yep,
Batman's cowl.
It's same like the Optimus Prime one I got, but that was from Cinemark that I actually ordered from the website.
So I thought it was funny.
Yeah, so actually, but similar to that. But yeah, they have that. I really have no desire to see it, but I do know that it's doing well, very well.
Interesting.
Power of the female dollar, I think, because I think you're obviously getting lots of women to watch this movie, and what did it make? 150 million? 150 million?
No, you haven't been paying attention. I'm not a Barbie guy.
I think that's what I mean.
I bet you Laura's a Barbie guy.
No, I know people there. Trust me, Carlos saw it.
Well, he got 2 daughters.
I know. I'm just saying, though, he saw it. It's not like, let's see. What was it? Barbie has made... Hold on a minute. I saw it this morning.
Hold you on. Go find the box office numbers.
Oppenheimer has made 77 million so far. And I believe Barbie has made 150.
I feel like that makes sense. I just feel like Oppenheimer is naturally a depressing movie. Just based on what, the concept.
Oh, yeah, something like that. It's going to be the biggest opening weekend, they said, of the year.
Well, good. I'm glad somebody's going to the movies because it felt like for all summer, nobody went. I guess the movies I like suck.
Nah, dude, I think it's just, this is a brand new concept. Like we've never had a movie, right?
We never had a movie. I mean, I guess the only other thing you can compare it to is like Transformers. Like, oh, this is a movie based on a toy, but Transformers has kind of evolved into other animation and stuff like that, video games and such and such. But like Barbie, this is kind of all new territory.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. Like, have they made Barbie video games before? I don't know. Like, I wouldn't.
I'm sure they have. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I'm sure they have.
You should know. You have like 30 sisters.
Yeah, but they're all older than me, and
I guess they didn't have video games back then.
I was the one who got into video games. Like my sister closest in age to me, she likes video games, not like I do.
Are they pumped for Barbie?
I haven't asked. I do know that my mother, my niece Laura, and my sister Lisa are going to see it on Tuesday together.
Okay,
I do know that.
All right.
So yeah, so they're going to see the movie. None of my sisters have mentioned wanting to see it though.
Does your mother just go anywhere she wants for free because her son's the champion of Long Island?
No, it doesn't work that way.
Oh, just for you?
It does not work that way.
You guys have strict laws in New York.
Wish I went everywhere for free. What are you kidding me?
Well,
All right, so let's segue into the trailers because there were a couple of trailers that came out. So let's talk about those. Actually, there was more than a couple. I think there were 3.
I got one wrong though. It was so well made. I got mistaken. Invincible, the video game.
One. Yeah, but there was a trailer for the movie for the show.
I got them mixed up.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I saw it. I watched all that one really does though. The one for the show is pretty much list the entire voice cast. Like that's pretty much the gist of the trailer.
The one for the game looked like a segment for the show. I was like, oh, they're just not showing us what they're saying. I was like, it looks cool.
It did though. I agree.
Yeah.
It did look. The game looks cool.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in the game, guys, check that out. But yeah, the trailer really didn't give away much. Very bits and pieces of dialogue interspersed with just all the voice cast that's going to be in this year, and it's a lot. There's a lot of new people in this season.
I hope so. A lot of people died in the last season.
I know. So definitely check that one out. But the other two that we got were Harley Quinn season 4,
which looks amazing.
It does. I have to agree. It does look pretty good. Looks like they're now both working on the opposite sides. Her and Ivy are working on opposite sides of the law here, and it's going to be interesting to watch, I think.
It's just going to be interesting watching Harley kind of not only work opposite of Ivy, but like be working with like the Bat family.
Yes.
It's like, do they trust her? Do they not? Like, what's going on? This is like a Batgirl kind of idea, motive, initiative here. And like, you could just tell from the trailer, like Dick and Damian are not having
it. It's true. It looks like a very, but it's typical with what the show is, right? Like it's.
No, look, I think it looks great. Like, I'm really excited for this. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
So it's an excellent cartoon. We keep saying it, guys. If you're not watching it, you're missing out. It's really good. Really, really good. So that's the other one we got. And then the last one was the Marvels trailer.
And we all know you're the big Marvels guy around these parts.
This one to me was better than the other one that we got. The concept for it is cool. I think the one drawback is if you didn't see Ms. Marvel, you're going to be confused. We both watched Ms. Marvel.
Well, that's the MCU in general, though.
Yeah, we're getting to the point now where that's more and more of a thing. It wasn't always a thing, but now it's definitely becoming more and more of one.
Give me my solo films back, baby.
Yeah. But I do think the concept is cool. I mean, people are saying, I don't know if you'd have to watch WandaVision to understand Monica's role. I don't know.
I saw a lot of people like, how does Monica get powers? When did that happen?
Yeah. Well, then maybe you should have to see that. But I mean, if you know the character, the character already, you would.
Well, people don't put in the work. You know that.
Right. So, but I think it looks good. I think I like the concept. I like what they're trying to do. The villain is interesting for the first time. She seems interesting. So we'll see. But I think it's going to do pretty well, actually. I think this one's going to do pretty well. I don't know why I feel that way. Maybe it's the whole female thing with how I see Barbie doing now.
I'll tell you why. It's Kamala, because she's amazing. And she's from New Jersey. This trailer, I actually dug. I was all about it, because you all know how I love to give shit to Eric for liking Captain Marvel, because it's a dry, boring movie. That Captain Marvel is like a well-done hamburger. It's just like, I'd rather not eat it than even attempt to put like 2 at least ounces of ketchup on there to cover it up. Yeah, no, but this looks like a lot of fun. Kamala, the interchanging of the powers and them dealing with it's cool because it's kind of new to me, and I kind of like the Freaky Friday, I don't know, pop in and out, here, not there. We can't use our powers, blah blah. Like it just seems like it can create a lot of fun and chaos for a bunch of characters I have no idea who they really are.
Right.
Like I vaguely know. I know they just killed Kamala in Spider-Man. Sorry, Eric. Sorry, I didn't mean to. But yeah, so like I don't really. The TV show is really kind of the most I've gotten out of her. But she looks like she's just having so much fun. That actress, she looks like she's having a blast. But I'm actually kind of into it. I can't wait to. I might actually go check this out in the theater.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like a lot of fun. This one looks much more.
And I hope Spider-Man's in it because it's all connected. I hope Spider-Man makes an appearance.
That would be interesting.
It would be, wouldn't it?
If they got a Tom Holland cameo somehow.
Even recently, he's like, I want to quit.
No, he didn't say that.
No, he was talking about walking away. He's like, yeah, I'd rather walk away sooner rather than later. Like, I think he wants to walk away before he gets to like a really bad movie, you know?
He said that, and then recently, though, he said that they've worked on a script for it for 4.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's like, here, Tom, here's $4 billion.
I'm sure that's part of it too.
Right.
But and he was actually being excited to try and start to play the character again. So
look at him negotiating it with the public. Look at that.
Yeah, he's not dumb. Not a dumb guy, that's for sure.
I don't know.
But yeah, so it looks interesting. Definitely does. I'm hoping this one resonates with people just more for the industry than anything else.
Yeah, well, they need some positivity, my man.
So
It's been rough.
that's it. Yep. Secret Invasion is wrapping up next week.
I am 2 episodes behind.
So
What do you think, Eric? The Secret Invasion, like, it's really good, but at times it's really slow.
yep, it
You
is.
know, like I that's my only real gripe because I like the espionage. And I just sometimes they do lose my attention throughout an episode, though. I don't know. It's weird because I'm really enjoying it, but at times I'm like, oh, this is a little dull.
It's a slow build.
Yeah,
It is a slow build.
the Rhodey stuff was good when I'm up to where we know the truth about Rhodey. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean, no, that's that's a very fair critique. It is a very slow build. It's a slower moving vehicle than stuff we're used to from Marvel, especially. So I think that it's kind of like Loki was, and I know you didn't like Loki, but Loki was a slow build as well.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with
but
you.
this one is a little bit better because there's that underlying tension throughout the entire time. Like that's the part of Secret Invasion that I think is keeping people interested who are watching it.
The difference between this and Loki for me is I actually care about I care about what's going on here. Like I don't care about Loki. Like Loki's not interesting to me. Like I know kind of like everyone loves Loki and what's his name in this role. I'm just not really like I could care less. So that's just
Okay.
what I'm done.
Well, that's different. Yes, that would be a good reason why you would not enjoy it if you don't care about
Like
the character.
Thor stuff is just like bleh, not paying attention. I don't care. Like oh god, like I did back to like when Thor talked like a bumbling idiot. Like it was like Shakespearean bullshit in your comic books. I'm like I'm not reading this. I can't do this. I'm sorry. Like, I was like this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, well, I get it.
There you go.
But yeah, it's similar. Andor had a similar reaction from people who like Star Wars that people are seeing having the reaction to Secret Invasion.
But those guys complain about everything.
So, dude, that's fandom. Period. Everyone complains. It's just across the board. So yeah, so that's wrapping up too. So we're getting to the final episode is actually this week. So
okay, I have to catch up.
So yeah, it's pushing towards a good ending. I don't know what the ending will be, but it's pushing towards a good one. So we'll see how that works out.
I couldn't believe what they did to Maria. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was pretty first episode too. That was crazy. I did not expect that.
It's very ballsy. I remember, like,
Right.
I the last time I felt like that actually was when they killed Loki. I was like, damn, he was like, really popular. I can't believe you guys did that.
I know it is nuts. It is crazy.
Every once in a while, the MCU has balls. I'll give them credit. Every once in a while, not often, but every once in a while. Sometimes it's just kiddie bullshit.
I mean,
crap.
It tends to happen in the more serious things, right? Like, I didn't because I knew the actual way Endgame ended or the Infinity Saga ended. I did not expect Tony to die, but I mean that was crazy. But the way that they've done certain things has been shocking, and it's good. It's good to do that to keep people interested. So I think that's
something
good.
DC hasn't done.
No,
movies they're not keeping anybody interested.
I mean, Snyder killed Superman. I guess that's.
Okay.
I guess that's one way to look.
It always comes back to my poor little BVS. Let's take shots of my little guy over there.
Sorry,
BVS has got to have like at least 2 black eyes at all points, right? Like,
oh please,
people do is just beat the shit out.
Dude. Yes, that it's been.
If BVS was a dude, he'd be just like, he'd be so psychologically broken.
That movie has been stabbed so much. You're gonna need dental records to identify the body. That's how much that movie. That's how that movie has been dissected, and yeah.
I think that's fair.
Well, we mentioned before. Pete mentioned in the open that this is San Diego Comic-Con weekend. It's a little crazy without having the movie stuff going on, but
which is good. Good for the vendors, good for the people. Be able to walk around, be able to have a good time, buy some toys, buy some T-shirts, buy some comic books. Enjoy San Diego Comic-Con in the way it actually should be.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's refreshing, right? It's kind of refreshing not having this big spectacle around. Oh, what's the announcements for the movie's going to
It's
be,
just
or
Hall H anyway, to be brutally honest.
right. So there was a little bit of there's a little article piece about Jim Lee in the Hollywood Reporter. Boris Kid wrote it as usual. But yeah, they were talking. They're basically talking to him about Comic-Con and a bunch of other things going on. But he does mention in it what it's like having James Gunn and Peter Safran are running the DC studios. So this is a quote from him. It's amazing to have partners in Peter and James, particularly James. He was a comics fan growing up and knows our mythology inside and out. And having that kind of ally in the live action space allows us to really leverage what he is doing and allows us to market and sell comic books to new readers. These are people who are interested in his movies, his TV shows, and if they want to take a deep dive into these characters, he directs them to the comic books. So what do you think about that quote? Do you see that? Do you think that that's a good assessment?
Yeah, because later on in the article he mentions that certain things have they've increased sales. Like their
Yeah.
sales are going up, especially characters like the Authority. Like he
Mm-hmm.
made that clear that and I'm sure he wants to, because let's be honest, I keep saying this and it's got to be true. It's got to be a favor to Jim because Jim created some of these guys. These are Wildstorm characters. Like
Yeah.
getting a check out of this. I'm sure this is his way of making up for his dues because he's put in his time. But yeah, so that's good, and I'm glad people are buying things. Like I don't get me wrong, like, I'll crack my jokes and I'll make fun of some people who should have read books they should have read years ago. Like when everyone was doing research for Batman, Brave and the Bold, everyone decided to buy omnibuses for the first time for a story that we should have known inside and out by now. I'm happy that people are reading comic books. I want people to read comic books, even if they are digitally. I want people to read comic books because I want comic books to keep going on and yada yada yada. But I hope these are physical issues, and I'm happy people are reading these things. That's the bottom line. Because if DC Comics was under, like, I don't know, like, are they going to make movies? I don't know. Like it all goes hand in hand. Like the movie,
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Like, I think it's very good. It's a very good thing that DC has someone now running things who did grow up reading comics and for the studios, because the movies have been such a big deal. But the source material is where it all started. So you should,
I
that's
don't know
somewhere.
how big James Gunn's fan base is. Like, I mean, there's only so many people that are gonna be like, from the Guardians guy, here comes the new Superman movie. Like that's only gonna work so many times. So
Right.
I don't know. Like, is James Gunn that big? Like, is he as big as Nolan, where like he's the type of director that people hear his name and they go see his movies?
I don't know. I mean, he definitely wasn't. He wouldn't have been that guy before Guardians.
I agree. Has Guardians put him to them that level though?
I don't think he's at Nolan's level. No, I wouldn't say
It
that.
sounds like that's kind of what they're banking on. Like they're like, oh, like, I'm sure there's a sector of fandom that he has, but I don't know how large it is.
Well, no, I mean, there's definitely people now.
But I think he can cater to a fan base and give them what they want, / what the fans deserve.
Well, I do think there's people now who might have seen Guardians and then went back and watched some of his other work.
Slither's still my favorite. It's great.
Yeah, I think there are people who will do that, and that's how you kind of have to, for him anyway, have to kind of go about it. I mean, early in his career, he was doing some really weird stuff. So
Scooby-Doo,
huh?
Like Scooby-Doo. I just picked up one of the books. I finally got all 8 issues. Superman Ending Battle. I was able to find them. Actually, my comic books only had like 2 issues, so I had to find most of them on eBay. So even I'm like doing some research. So
yeah, I saw that.
Cool.
I saw that stuff you posted. I'm like, maybe I should hop in as well.
Yes.
Read it.
I was just talking about this with Lauer the other day. We've got to get Holzman to read more comic books. Get him to really get in there. Holzman used to review Suicide Squad for BUF. You guys know that, right? Like, we used to have the champion of Long Island type his thoughts out about comic books. Something he hates.
I don't hate anything.
Okay, so you don't hate them, so you're going to start reading them. See, okay, so we just misunderstood Holzman. So now he's going to start reading comic books, which is
I
great.
do not hate them at all. I used to read them all
so
the time.
Jimmy's right. James Gunn brought Eric back to reading comic books. Eric's going to start reading the volumes of The Authority in trade form. It's going to be fantastic. He can buy them on Amazon.
Well, I definitely want to know those kinds of stories. I'd like to have some idea what they're about. So yeah, I'm probably going to hop in and do that.
It's true. You're back. He's back.
Yeah.
He's back. Da, 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 da. I feel like
they said it wasn't even in print
before Christmas.
They said The Authority wasn't in print when Gunn announced it. I didn't even know that.
My mom actually one day, like in her travels, picked me up an Authority trade paperback. And like she went on like vacation. She came back. She's like, "Here, I found a souvenir. There's a comic book store." And she gave me an Authority comic book. She's like, "I knew you didn't have this." I was like, "Thanks," because I didn't have that. And that's it. That's like my only Authority thing. It happened like 2 years ago. It's kind of funny. And then I read it on a trip to the Amish country.
Nice.
I was like, this is interesting. I need something to do. And don't knock the Amish country. You'll never have better jelly in your life than in the Amish country.
Oh, I would not.
In Pennsylvania.
I won't knock the Amish country.
It's an interesting place, man. But man, those jellies are so good.
Well, speaking of Superman and Superman Legacy, since the last show we've had, there's been tons of casting announced. All right, so I'll go through them real quickly, and then we can just talk about it, because I know you've had certain comments about this, so I will let you take the floor. But Isabella Merced has been cast to play Hawkgirl. Edie Gattegi will be playing Mr. Terrific, and Nathan Fillion will portray Green Lantern. So those are those three, and then what's his name? Anthony Carrigan, who played Zaz in Gotham, actually.
No, I know.
And he's also on the show Barry. You guys know him. He's the bald guy. He will play Metamorpho. And all these characters are added to Superman Legacy. So I know there's a segment of the fan base who wanted Superman Legacy to be a Superman-contained film, and it still might be. We don't know the full script. But these characters will be in the film. So, Pete, how do you feel about that?
This doesn't excite me at all. Like, I'm definitely calmed down over the past couple of weeks because I've had time to, but I'm very cautious. I thought I like the way you described it, a Superman contained film. Mm-hmm. That sounds really good to me. Like if James Gunn was like, here, this is my cast for Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, Jim Harper, Bibbo, Dr. Ian Hamilton. I think his name's Ian Hamilton. You know, mm-hmm. he was Man of Steel. Pete Rollins, I was like, oh wow, okay, cool, all right. Oh, these are Superman characters, but no, I get this member of the JSA and this person, and there's this guy from this room, and there's a police force over there in space. We got one of those guys in this movie. You know, it's like, I'm like, okay, this is the green. I was like, this is what it took to finally get Green Lantern back on the big screen. Like it's been just any screen. It could be like a screensaver, like you know. To be brutally honest, and I'm like, oh wow, this sounds like a commercial for the next Justice League movie. Mm-hmm. I don't know, you know, it kind of feels like BVS all over again.
Okay.
You know, like, you know, they're there. We don't know where they are, but they're there. Oh, and they're also in the movie. Here they are really quickly. Email scene. And it's like, oh, this is weird. Yeah, I don't know. This is just like, I'm cautiously not optimistic.
Okay. No, I mean, that's fair. That's a fair take. I understand people saying that. Like I said to you when it first happened, I'm pretty strong feeling that they won't show up until the end. If they show up at all, when they show up, I'm feeling it's going to be
credits. I won't mind. To be brutally honest, if it's post credits, I won't mind it. But like, I just have a feeling that these are the characters that are in the movie.
Well, and look, they are in the movie.
Like a rightful, real Mr. Terrific, not the CW version. As much as I love the CW, like, I'm all for a real Mr. Terrific. T-spheres playing with Kryptonian technology. Like, I get it. It all sounds really cool. I think before you want everyone to just love the universe that we're in already, get us to just love one thing.
It does.
From there, let's bloom.
It does make me wonder, and I know, I mean, when I started hearing all these character's name, and they're obviously JSA characters, you're like, is what we saw at the in the post credits of Shazam, is that still a thing? And will Shazam be in this universe? Now, I don't know.
Well, that's a good question, because we all know Peacemaker and Waller are carryovers.
Right.
Those are direct characters, direct, contact. Like, we're like half a degree of separation, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Really honest here. Which
So
I love Shazam.
Right.
I've got him hanging on the wall.
And then they tie it back to what Gunn said, like, we're going to keep some stuff, we're going to get rid of some others. I just kind of wonder, when I heard these announcements, I was like, I wonder if that end credit scene, that everyone's like, oh, it's not going to mean anything. I wonder if it actually does.
We're not going to know anything until
right
here. I guess this will be a segue. Anything until Aquaman, which is getting pushed back to like 2075.
No, not yet. Not yet. They're not. That's not confirmed. There was a report that came out yesterday that Dune, The Color Purple, and Aquaman might be being pushed back to 2024. Now, Warner Brothers, this was a source that they had told to Variety, but Warner Brothers denies it, says that's not happening. These movies are scheduled to go and they will be released as planned. So
if I'm Warner Brothers, I would just rip the Band-Aid off. Like, it just seems like it's like they don't care about anything right now, so just let it go.
I mean, they're announced literally, it's a couple of months from now, essentially. It's not that far. To me, just let them out. Let them be seen, like, release them, and that's it.
I'm with you. Just stop pushing them back.
Yeah, I don't see the purpose. I understand they're saying it's because of the strike, and then people, you can't promote it as well, and
you don't care. You're not promoting it. You weren't promoting it to begin with.
Oh, Aquaman?
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, the Flash happened before the strike. You didn't promote that. Like, these things are DOA. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Dune, I think, is
not Dune. I'm talking about the DC stuff. Dune will be fine because guys like you and Nico will go there and you'll just spit out your adjectives. Tell me how great. I'm like, it's sand people. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to think back to the first Aquaman. I don't remember there being this huge marketing push for it. I could be wrong.
Not huge, but there was like some, like they did interviews. Like Momoa was on the red carpet circuit, taking his shirt off. He's in a loincloth. I've got a new tattoo on my head.
True. Like, I thought that was after No,
Aquaman. But like I'm saying, he was. It was after. But I'm like, Momoa can do that stuff. Now he can't do it.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Like, who cares? It doesn't matter. He's like, look, I got a new tattoo on my calf. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's going to be everywhere.
I mean, Dune comes out a little earlier, so I understand maybe the trepidation for that, but we're talking about Christmas for Aquaman. Like, there's plenty of time for them to get something done. Why would you push it back now?
You would think.
I don't know. It seems a little bit crazy to me.
Stop being greedy. Just give these people, let's be honest, pay people what they're worth. And that goes for everybody.
I agree.
Everybody's underpaid.
What they're worth.
Except for Aaron Judge. I think he's appropriately paid. He earned his money.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about that. That's more depressing news. So let's not talk about that. But
be realistic.
Back to what we were talking about with Superman Legacy. James Gunn was specifically asked about, is this like just a movie to set up another film? And he says, I've never used one movie to set up another movie. The characters are there because they help tell Superman's story better, not so we can set up separate projects in the franchise. Superman and Lois are the very clear protagonists. So
there's a reason why these characters are in this movie.
Yeah, there's a reason for sure. I just don't think it's smart to speculate on what that reason is. That's it. So that's even though that's what we do all the time.
I really get my panties in a twist after I see a trailer. How's that? Until then, I'll just like lightly complain.
Well, I think we're far away from a trailer since it hasn't even started shooting and we're in a strike. So I think
we got some time.
Yeah, we definitely have some time before this happens. Another thing that Gunn addressed, because this has kind of been weird for me as well, I think for all of us, we're still waiting for the second half of the last season of Doom Patrol.
Is it, Eric? I honestly forgot all about it. Like between complaining about Titans and catching up on all the CW, just that wrap up with the Flash and everything, and of course the greatest show of all time, Gotham Knights. I forgot all about Doom Patrol.
Right. Well, he says that it's not shelved, that it will be released. He can't. He says he's not involved in TV scheduling. He says, but he can't imagine they won't release them.
Has
And
he
then he
seen?
got.
So he
Then
saw
he
that girl,
updated.
right?
Yes. Then he updated himself and said they're definitely not being shelved, although the premiere date for the next shows has not yet been announced to the public, which means he knows where that's coming out now. That's how I read it, but he can't tell us.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, the show is very good, and I do want to see how it ends, but it is crazy that the first half of this got released in January.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't
So
know. Because it should have come out by now. Because even did it start the same time as Titans?
Titans came after, I think. Oh no, I think you're right. I think Titans actually came the end of last year, the first
I
half.
don't remember.
So I think you're right. I think you're right on that.
That's kind of crazy.
It is. It's very crazy.
It kind of got lost in the shuffle, but it's so unique that I look forward to it coming back now. Like I'm kind of like, yeah, where is Doom Patrol?
I know. You did forget about it, but then when someone brings it up, you're like, yeah, we haven't gotten the end of it.
A lot has happened since Doom Patrol was on TV.
That's
I feel
true.
like there were 3 regime changes for one.
It feels like we've had a couple, that's for sure.
So,
but one thing that is coming and still scheduled to come, and doesn't matter that the strike is going on, is Blue Beetle. It's still coming in August. The star of the film, Xolo Maraduena, went to speak about not being able to promote it because of the strike, and this was a quote he had. "We had such great stuff aligned, and I really wish that we could get it to you guys, but we need to stand on the right side of history, and because of that, we're planting our feet in the ground. With that being said, this is a fantastic movie, and it needs to be seen on a bigger screen. If you know Blue Beetle, you're going to love the movie, and if you don't know, he's going to be your new favorite superhero. With that being said, I love you all. To all the supporters, to the Blue Beetle fucking battalion, y'all are killing it. I won't be able to promote this movie, but you can, and we can together. It's time. Let's do this for the culture. Let's do this for the community. Let's do this for the opportunity for the others. And more importantly, let's kick ass." It is sad, I will say, because this kid has so much charisma.
because you watch his other show, right?
Yeah, he's on Cobra Kai, and I watch Cobra Kai. And he's got all the charisma you would want someone like him pushing this movie, because I think it's obviously gonna need help. There was a projection that it's only trending to 15 to 17 million so far, opening weekend, which at least that's what the studio is looking at this time, though. So
then you need to do what you would do for the Flash. You need to subtract that by 1 million, and then you'll have the negative number that it's not going to make.
Well, I don't know what the budget was for this. I think they said 100.
It increased at some point because they went from HBO Max. Remember,
so
it was a streamer like Batgirl, but then,
and I mean,
apparently it was good enough to make the cut.
Yeah, and I mean the trailers. I've liked the trailers, so I don't know. I hope people go see this. I hope it's one of these. Like I said, they know him from Cobra Kai, so they're gonna go give this movie a shot. That's the way I'm looking at it. I know people like George Lopez. He's in the movie, so maybe those fans will go see it.
I love George Lopez.
Yeah. So I mean, there are baked in things to this that should get people to watch it. I mean, the title is weird, but that's his name. What are you gonna do? I mean, that's who he is. So
is it really any different from like Green Arrow, Spider-Man? Like, let's be honest, they're all weird names.
Yeah, that's true.
X-Men.
That's true. I don't know. I really am hoping that this movie does well. It does better than the projections for it. I think it's smart that they're projecting it low this time, though, so at least they're being realistic. And then if it does better, you can be like, "Oh, look, it's better than we projected." It could come out looking like on the other side instead of being like, "Damn, it underperformed." Maybe. So
I have I'm just very nervous. I just at this point I'm so negative. I'm like, it's just destined to bomb.
I'm not nervous. it's a character that nobody knows. Pete, you read comics and you barely know him, so it's
Yeah,
not like,
well, but
you
I'll
know.
be there.
Yeah, I'll be there too. But I'm saying it's kind of like it's this one was always going to be
Yes, I agree.
a tough sell.
I think it's a
So
lot easier though if it has a Marvel banner on it. To be honest with you.
yeah, I mean, if this is where it would have been successful to have a universe already established to push a movie like this, kind of like they did with Ant-Man in the MCU. They had all that, goodwill invested already that they could make Ant-Man.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm pulling for it. I'm hoping it does better than they expect. I'm hoping people go see it. It is August, dog days of summer. A lot of times parents just want to do stuff with their kids, get them out.
Do
Let's
stuff like keep them quiet for 2 hours in a dark room
let's go see this
in an air
Beetle
conditioned
movie.
room. Yeah. Oh no.
Let's go see the Beetle movie with the guy from Cobra Kai, and hopefully everyone sees it. Looks that way. That's my hope for it.
All right. All right. Good
So
luck, Blue. Rooting for you,
good
buddy.
luck. Yes, good luck,
Good luck,
Xolo
Jaime.
and Blue, and yes, Jaime. All right.
Holziman.
Yes. So moving right along. Remember in The Flash, we got the Jay Garrick scene, and everyone thought it was Teddy Sears, and then he was like, "No, it wasn't me." And we were like, "Well, then who the hell was it?"
It's Eric Holzman.
I wish it was me. That would have been awesome. But no, it was actually someone who worked on the movie, an editor named Jason Ballantyne.
That's awesome.
Yes. So he said that Andy Muschietti wanted the Golden Age Flash as one of the characters on the screen. And the visual effects supervisor said, well, if we're going to have a digital character that large on screen, then it would be better to have a real face. And he said he just raised his hand and he was put into the movie. So
good job, kid. You did it. Like that's how exciting is that? Just for just going to work, average Joe, just kind of doing his job. Nothing. No. What's it called? It's just every day work, and hey, I ended up in the movie.
I know. That's like the dream, and not only do you end up in the movie, you end up as one of the Flashes in the Flash.
Mm-hmm. And on top of it, your scene is actually a talking point because people don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Like,
that's
congratulations.
Awesome.
It's fun. I'm happy we found out who this new Flash is. This way, Mr. McFarlane can now make me an action figure. Because he's making all these action figures already.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't on our rundown, but you saw the Batman collection, right? That they released.
I bought it.
You bought it already?
Are you kidding me? I pre-ordered it. Dude, I pre-ordered the 89 2-pack Batmobile. I'm just like, everyone's like, so you got two? I'm like, yes, I have more. Yes, the more Keaton, the better.
So do you have an issue with the sonar suit like some people do?
No, because a friend of the show, Frank Lorenzis, mailed me the Forever Batman action figure from a few years ago that Mattel made. So now I have the Forever Kilmer with the yellow oval. I have the sonar suit. I have everything now. So I'm not mad. I've just been doing this a lot longer than some of these scrubs.
Yeah, there's been some talk about like that and how they use the tactical BVS,
which is interesting too because it looks like that's a Joss Whedon Batman figure because Snyder's Batman, I believe, had the goggles on the whole movie, and then Whedon took them off, which is interesting because I'm like, well, I don't have that action figure actually.
Yeah,
that's weird. So that I got that one, and I was like, they all have cloth capes, and I was like, I didn't buy the Dark Knight wave, so now I have this one, and I'm like, and then there's Clooney with the nipples. And then Lauer goes, this is funny. Lauer's like, I'll just wait for the single release. I'm like, no, give me George. I won't help. I'm just like, here. I would like my direct deposit to go to McFarlane Toys.
Dude, it was cool though. I will say that was a cool thing to look at.
I can't wait to see what kind of packages Hope comes in.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's cool. I enjoyed it. enjoyed seeing
I hope
that. I
we
was
get a
like,
Batman Forever wave at some point. I know there's rumors about it. That would
yeah.
be
And
nice.
what was the other one we saw that was released?
He did. There was some superpower stuff that was
That's
released.
what it was. The superpowers.
Various figures in that line. There's some 66 stuff he was
Yeah,
doing, and then he made his own 66 Superman, which is interesting. So he's having some fun with it, which is nice.
yeah.
He's doing a lot of cool things. Superpowers of one of the cool vehicles that was actually going to be released is the Whirly Bat. I'm very excited for that. I didn't have a lot of vehicles as a kid growing up. Like they were just like too expensive, or like you always need the action figure for the vehicle. So if you had a vehicle,
Mhm.
that like I never had like both. So like except for the Forever car, that was like my only vehicle I ever had. So like when I see these vehicles, I go crazy because I'm like, oh my god, these are amazing. I love vehicles, like I do. Like I am a sucker for a bat boat.
Yeah, I do always like the more obscure ones, the vehicles. When they make things for those, I always
Yeah.
enjoy
So
getting
like
those
I was like,
kinds.
I
Yeah.
will dangle this whirly brat from the ceiling. I'll get a fishing line and a hook.
Yeah, like
And I'll be like,
I remember when the what's it called? The Hot Wheels or the Matchbox. I think it's the Matchbox with when I saw the one that had the bat in it from Rises, I was like, "Oh, I want to get that." It was part of a group. I was like, "Oh, I want to get that set." It's like anytime you see stuff like that where you have those kinds of things, I'm always like, "Yes,
yeah.
let's hop on those," because you're right, vehicles are. It's true when you're growing up and you get the figures, and the vehicle was always so much more money. So you have to and sometimes they would come with a character, and sometimes they wouldn't.
And then for Batman and Robin, they just recycled some of the vehicles. Like there was that, like if they had this one Batmobile that would turn into the Batboat and the Batwing, like it came off in pieces, and
Mm-hmm.
they just remarketed it for Batman and Robin. They just changed the box. It was so funny. I guess they had leftovers.
Well, gotta move merch. Gotta move the merch. All right, so Joker 2 is still slated, guys. It's still coming out. And a interesting story came out in Variety about Lady Gaga. So the cinematographer Lawrence Sher, Oscar nominated. He was on the Joker, so he's back. He revealed on the Trenches Talk podcast that he never met Lady Gaga on the set of the sequel, meaning that she was always in character. So he said, obviously, she stars opposite Joaquin Phoenix, and Sher said it wasn't until he actually started calling her by the name Lee, which is a reference to Harley Quinn, that she even started warming up to him. So her real name is Stephanie. So he said, I didn't know Stephanie at all. Strangely, I felt like I never even met her, even during the makeup and hair tests. Maybe it was my philosophy of not trying to get in their space. And then I remember for a week being like, God, I feel like we are disconnecting, not even connecting. We are like opposites. And I would say to my crew, Jesus, I can't crack it. She either hates me or we hate each other. There's something weird going on here. I'd barely say anything except I would say, Stephanie, this is where your second team was. Minor little things. And then the AD at one point said, oh, Steph would like if you just called her Lee on set. And then he said, I get it 100%. The next thing he said was something was Lee. And it was like everything changed. From that point on, their whole connection changed. And they finally were able to have that kind of dialogue. Now, we've heard of actors in the past getting into character. That seems a little bit much. Just from my opinion.
I don't know. This does not surprise me that this is the type of actress that Lady Gaga is, right? Like she just seems like she's out there a little bit. But that's what really gets me excited because I'm like, she's really kind of diving deep. I think this is going to be something so different from Margot Robbie, and that's really exciting. And then I'm actually really excited for this because it's not connected to anything. I'm happy it's just a sequel to a movie. Like I never wanted this, but it's here. But it's also like kind of on its own little, to use a Rick Shoe term, an island. Like I'm really excited about it. I just wish I could watch the first movie more often. It's just kind of depressing.
It
But
is.
yeah, I'm excited for it because it's kind of uncharted territory, right? Musical sequel, depressing. Like what?
Yeah, that's the thing I'm looking forward to, just how different it's going to be for something in this space. So it's going to be cool to watch. And yeah, I mean, when you're committed to doing a role and you get that deep in character that you're not even answering to your real name, I think that's a good sign for the film and a good sign for her performance. So I'm hoping that all of these things are pointing towards this being a fantastic sequel. But yeah, it's the best, like you said, it's gonna be cool to have it that it's a refreshing. We could just watch it and not have to worry about anything else going on. Very cool.
That's it, baby. Todd Phillips, he's a genius.
Yep. I mean, who would have thunk? I never thought the guy from The Hangover would be doing these movies, but here we are.
Style and grace.
Yep.
Very
Crazy stuff.
Story. How he took over an island with nothing but hair on his chest and determination.
That's true. Just gotta put in the work.
That's it, getting it in.
Well, I don't know about all that. Oh. All right, so there was a picture that we got from Hugh Jackman of him on the set of Deadpool in his Wolverine getup. And it is, yes, folks, it is the yellow. It is the yellow Wolverine suit.
Yeah, it looks good. You know,
yeah.
It was always a joke in the first movie. Remember yellow spandex?
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if he has the mask.
Yes, that would be interesting to see.
And is he smoking a cigar in the picture? He should be. Disney should let him smoke cigars.
I don't think I see one.
Ah, damn it! This is really important for the thing.
Picture, but yeah, I mean, that caused a lot of. That was a big topic of conversation that day. It caused a lot of in social media.
It looked good.
Big stir. It did, and I think, I mean, it's cool that we're finally getting that suit. It's not the spandex, guys, so don't think you're seeing Hugh Jackman running around in this like big unitard. It's
close to spandex as superhero movies get these days.
Yes, it's.
Have you ever worn spandex? I feel like you have.
Spandex?
Yeah, you definitely wear spandex. Back in your swimming days.
Well, when you swim, you have to wear Speedos. So back in the day, I had to wear a Speedo.
Yeah, but that's spandex. You ever wore spandex? Was the thing. You look like a spandex guy.
But
yeah, you wore spandex, which is
no,
fine.
I did not wear spandex.
You wore spandex. It's totally fine.
No, I mean, maybe biker shorts when I went biking, but
yeah, spandex. You like spandex?
No. You definitely seem more like a spandex guy.
Let me see your closet.
You are the
closet right now. Let me see what you got. Bring that laundry over.
I can see you doing it.
What's that? Is that a pink leotard? What do you got over there?
What are you talking about?
Halsey-man does whatever Halsey can. Halsey-man, you and me. Oh yeah, listen to Halsey-man.
We've gotten to that portion of the show, guys.
Oh, that's it.
So you know that means that we're wrapping up. This is
Halsey-man, la da da, doo dee dee, da da da. Come on. He's like shaking his head in disgust. Like, have some fun. We were talking about bullshit for an hour.
Oh.
Halsey-man, la da da.
I was thinking, it's funny though, the color scheme that we have for Halsey-man looks like the Invincible colors, right? Like Invincible suit.
Well, you're just as strong. You're powerful.
You know, I'm just saying. Looks like those colors.
Halsey-man, level 4,000.
Anyway, we're at the end, guys. We've come to the end of the show.
Halsey-man, done.
So, Pete, plug some stuff. Let them know where they can find you.
You can follow me on social media. That's Twitter, Instagram, Mastodon, Threads. Zack Snyder's favorite platform, Vero. At Pete, yeah, Threads. Include Threads. Why not? Like, who cares?
I'm on Threads. Go ahead.
I'm on Threads. I never use it. At Pete Illustrated. Follow this podcast listening right now. Straight Outta Gotham at straight_O_G on just Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah,
but we do have a Facebook group and a Facebook fan page because we only have so much time in the day. Check out the Italian Spider-Man Coalition at Italians for Spidey. Have a new episode that'll probably drop before the end of the month, which is cool. They're going to do a lot of new cool things on that show. We'll probably have to have like some kind of intercontinental combination. We'll have to have Eric on. We'll have some kind of Italian-German schnitzel fest, you know. We'll compare potato salads. We'll make Italian potato salad. German potato salad. We'll do something. We'll come on with it. There's got to be a German character in that Spider-Man cartoon you can help me talk about. They all have a bunch of different accents. I imagine someone has a German accent.
Okay.
I feel Shocker's German, even though there's no accent. But you don't see him; he just wears yellow.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's the yellow. I don't know where I left off, but all over BatmanOnFilm.com, Batman on Film YouTube, the Batman Book Club at Ryan Lauer. I'm there once a month, and Eric, it's just the show belongs to you, Sir Champion.
Pete is all over the place, guys. That's what you need to know. He is everywhere and nowhere at the same time, actually.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, Twitter, Finally 33, spell Finale 33. Again, the Facebook group has been actually pretty active lately. So
it was very active when the beef was going down.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Dude, enough.
Oh yeah, it's very active when the beef was going down. Anyway, check out the group again. We're having fun in there, as Pete said. Making up things and throwing out there's truth. And
it's fun talking about Eric, isn't it? Like, he's the champion for a reason.
We'll post
news occasionally.
Yes, occasionally there's news in there. We try and foster discussion. You guys can always post things too.
Let us know what you guys are thinking about Secret Invasion. I feel like nobody's watching it.
That's true.
Really, honestly, I feel like no one's watching it.
Yep. Well, that's funny. They're probably not, because if you listen to the fans in the group, a lot of them are tired of Marvel, so they're not watching Marvel stuff, which is fine. That's fine. I get it. But
so
if you are, let us know, because
we are.
Yes. Oh, we will be.
Get this goddamn Gotham Knights show.
We have it scheduled, don't we?
I don't know. We got to do it, but it's coming. Steve Helm, yes. I got you, bro.
Yes, we're going to be doing the Gotham Knights show for the 5 people who watched it. It's probably just us talking to each other. Yeah, it's probably just going to be us.
4 of us for the one person.
Yes, that's it. So wait for that. That's coming. Definitely coming. If you guys, again, a fan of the New York Knicks, I do a show called All Nicked Up at all_Nicked_up on Twitter. That's the Twitter handle. Every Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. we discuss everything revolving around the New York Knicks. Fun show. I enjoy doing it. So check that out as well.
It's a good show. You just talk about shit.
Thanks a lot.
But I like the host. He's kind of scrumptious in a way. He's got it's that goatee thing he's got going on there. He's kind of adorable. He's no Pat Sajak, but he's all right.
It's okay. I mean, hey, we do what we do what we could do. We do what we could do. That's it.
Jose on.
All right, guys, we're gonna head out of here. So, Pete, unless you have anything else,
if you like Hasbulla, check out my Instagram.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's for sure. See, I told you, he's everywhere.
Everywhere.
All over the place. All right, guys. So for Pete, I'm Eric. You're listening to Straight Outta Gotham. We'll see you next time.
Booyah!